Alright, it's time to see how the summer window went in this preview of our season. I think it's gone alright, but I'll let you guys judge. On with the video.
Riding along on my tractor, honey, when I notice you.
Hello everyone, Canberra Run here, and welcome back to FM24 with Ipswich Town. So we're on the day that the Premier League season starts. We've had an interesting summer. I'm going to go into the transfers first. But before I do that, I'm just going to let you guys know that I put up the first the first episode proper of One Season Wonder, where I take charge of AS Monaco for a season and try to do as well as I can with them. I'm going to leave a link for that down in the description of the video. I would encourage you to check it out. I put a lot of work into these, and they'll be coming out every Sunday for the next foreseeable few weeks. So, let's start off with the transfers. We will deal with this one later. So, we're going to go for the starts with the obvious is that I signed Charlie Cresswell as a centre-back from Leeds United for 11.5 million. You saw that at 12 million even. I thought it was 11.5. Missed about 500k. So, obviously, you saw me do that at the end of the last episode. He should be alright. He is more of a wide centre-back. I'm really struggling to try and find a back four central defenders. Because for some reason, everybody plays three at the back now. I have no idea what the idea of that is. I don't know. Obviously, Edwin Mosquera can now play, but we'll have to see how that comes out. We've also signed Eli Yuan from Hibernian. I paid 15 million for him. Now, I have to admit, I'm not sure whether I've made a mistake with this. God's sake, I need to click on the info. He is ideally 2.5 stars. But he's in his prime years. I can use him as a striker, which is what I intend to do. He's 28. He might be able to get some goals in him if I rotate with Adebayo. But I don't know whether he's supposed to be the leading striker I thought he was. I may have made a bit of a cock-up with this. But we'll have to see how he does in the league. He is only a squad player. I might need to try and pick up another striker. In terms of the outs, the only one you didn't see from this season was Jamie Douglas. I sent him out on loan. That's as it were. So, in terms of some more outgoings, I sold off Mikey Johnson to Hull for 17.5 million because he is only 2.5 stars. He won't survive at this level. He is going to be probably a good player for them. We've also let go of Nadia Mariri. He left for 13.5 million to Almeria. I had to try and invite the offers in. He wouldn't sign a new contract and he wanted out of the club. It is really annoying because he would have been very, very good at this level, but he didn't want to stay. We've let a few other players leave on loan, and then that's about it. So we've generated about 31 million in revenue and spent 32 million. First we made Mofi Jamide a permanent transfer. He looks fairly decent. He's already 3.5 stars, can play central defender, ball-playing defender, can still go up to 4. He's got a lot of potential. He's only 20. He is definitely one for the future. And he's already decent at this level. He will be good. He will rotate with Cresswell or Twanzebe, depending on which one of them is kind of doing better. We've also brought in this guy. He's kind of making up the numbers. But he could actually be quite good. Andre Ratiu. We brought him in as a free agent. He was released by Troyes. He is 3 stars. He should be fairly decent. Probably get some game time out of him. Wrong one. We've also brought in this guy. I'm only going to call him Brynjar Flatguard because I don't know how to pronounce his middle name. I think it's Bori. I'm not very well versed on Norwegian. Anybody can correct, anybody knows Norwegian, please let me know. He's brought in a Salernitana. I think we got him at a decent price. Yeah, we only paid 5.5 million for him. But he looks pretty good. He can play anywhere across this 3, though he works best probably either as a striker or an attacking mid. That's certainly where I'm going to play him. I think the key thing, there is an interesting thing in his contract, and I'll show you this. It's quite hilarious. If I can get it. No. But basically, I've got a promise that if I sell Hara Jr., this guy becomes a regular starter. But he's going to be starting quite a few games for us. The one good thing I have is that I have this guy, Jakile Marshall-Rotti. He can play on the wings. He can play on the right back, which is where I'm going to use him for now. He'll be basically playing as a complete wing back on support for me. I picked him up for 4.1 million from Toronto FC. He looks excellent, if I may say. If it works better, I'm probably going to start putting him on the winger role. Just I have Dobbin, McAtee, Mosquera. I have so many players who can play there, but I don't have a lot of right backs. So I am just going to use him as a right back. I'm sure he won't mind. But he looks very, very good, I will say. I'm just going to see that one negative. That better not be two. Yeah, that's fine. You need to make friends, mate. Fucking hell. Right, and then the other one I brought in for 10.5 million from Bournemouth is Federico Redondo. So he's better as a central midfielder, but he can play it. I'm going to be using him as a defensive midfielder because I kind of have to. I don't have a lot of DMs, and I don't really play with central midfielders, which is a shame, but I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll be playing as my deep-lying playmaker on supports. He was relegated with Bournemouth last season, but I think he'll be fine. He's basically coming in to be my main one, so I don't have to rely on Boubacar Traore. I'm trying to get one more deal over the line. So we're trying to get this guy in on loan, Nicholas Raskin. The bid we've put in is basically about 105. Here we are. Playing monthly fee, unused playing monthly fee, cover 80% of the wage, regular starter at defensive midfielder, and then hopefully he will accept. But we are, yeah. It's under consideration, basically. So I'm hoping that he'll be willing to come in because we really need another defensive midfielder. I don't want to be relying on Holgate. Holgate has heavily dropped off, and he probably won't be very good at this level. I think he's gonna struggle. He is 30. In terms of maybe making more sales, there is the chance to sell off Elijah Adebayo. I could probably there are teams that's circling for him. I can probably put him up for sale, get him off the books, get 15, 16 million for him, and then try and sign another straight up striker. There's been a few options on here. I'm mostly just going to look for somebody who's young. There is this. Ooh. Okay. If he's 3 stars at 19, is that asking too much of him? You see what I mean? So we do have some decent stars in the squad. Obviously, just build from the back. We have Mile Svilar. He is excellent. He does have a 90 million release clause. My biggest concern is that I get to January and McAtee and Svilar are poached by bigger clubs. I can spend the money to replace them, but it'd still be annoying because McAtee is also pretty good. He's basically my other star player. I am hoping he will be excellent for us because we're going to be leaning on Svilar and McAtee a lot. Flatguard should be good in an attacking midfield role. Obviously, Lewis Dobbin should be able to come into his own as well. He is at 3 stars. I mean, the rest of our attack is pretty good. Hara Jr. is at 3 stars as well. 4.5 if played a striker, but that's not going to happen. Oh, well, that's probably expected. I think he missed 2 penalties last season. And his corners have gone down the drain as well. Right, so we can probably, we'll be using him as a winger, but if I get desperate, I can put him as striker role. Okay, really quickly, I'd just like to talk about this guy. Michael Murray, 19 years old, 2-star wing-back, with at least 4.5 to 5-star potential. He's got green balance, green pace, and green natural fitness, and green stamina. And some of his other stats are looking really, really good. Probably what I'm going to try and do is if I can get him trained into things like teamwork and work rate, and I can get him to work on his stats, I'm going to be blooding him throughout this season because he looks like an excellent prospect. And if I can get him some game time this season, I think he'll be very, very, very good going down the line. He is only 19. He's English. He is loan listed, but if he starts to perform, I'm taking off the loan list. And then I will get him some proper football at the top level because this is a potential gem on our hands. So I just like to clear that up. I'm actually recording this after I've done recording the main video. But yeah, we'll see how Michael Murray does at this level. My big problem is going forward is basically striker and midfield. Redondo will help. If I can get Raskins in or somebody else, that'll be fine. I can probably shift on Elijah Adebayo if necessary. In terms of my other options at fullback. Obviously, Leif Davis should be fine, and same as Royce Norrington Davis. But we will have to see. Obviously, Leif Davis is should be experienced. I'm looking to build on a strong defense and then hopefully be able to get enough goals to stay in the division. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can pull it off. The fucking table doesn't believe in us, I'll tell you that for nothing. Going to the season preview, we're predicted to finish second from bottom at 1,000 to 1. Sunderland, to be fair, Sunderland have had a very, very good transfer history. If I show you their transfer history, they brought in the likes of Sam Amor, Cole, Max Elenier. They've also brought in, surprised at this, they brought in Dyson Medea on the 3 from Celtic and Thierry Small. They've really spent the money to make sure they stay in the division. So they got a better chance than most. Middlesbrough predicted to finish dead last because they basically haven't signed anybody. So we're pretty much supposed to be, they've predicted all 3 teams to go down. So our schedule is Everton and Tottenham will be the first 2 games you'll see tomorrow. Then, it looks fine. Aside from the October, which looks like absolute bloody hell, because we've got Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. It's a fairly normal kind of thing. So, the only other issue we have is that our last 2 games of the season in May are Manchester City and Newcastle. Ideally, we want to be if we want to survive, we want to be securing survival in April. Otherwise, we're fucked if we get to May and we've got to try and beat Man City and Newcastle to stay in the division. We've got no hope. I've never been relegated. I don't plan on doing it now. Trust me. So, the only other issue I can think of is that I've overspent a lot and now we're in a lot of debt. Some of that is because we were hit by a lot of hidden costs. I also I think there was at least one player, I think Mikey Johnson, I had to pay off a big loyalty bonus. We are well within the wage budget as well. The only thing that I kind of worry about is we'll only have 10k if we bring in Raskins. If we can sell off Elijah Adebayo, I should be able to get enough for a striker and maybe one more midfielder. I should have enough to survive in the division, but it might be a big challenge. So, without further ado, you will see me play Everton and Tottenham in the next 2 fixtures. This has been a shorter video because it's more of a preview, more of a self-explanatory. Plus, I have someone to be tonight, so I can't really spend a lot of time recording. So, I will see you guys tomorrow for the kickoff of the Premier League season. If you're excited for this, feel free to leave a like. If you do want to see how I do in the Premier League, always feel free to subscribe. Do check out my One Season Wonder video. I do put a lot of work into those. I pretty much spent over 3 days recording it. Because I don't do rebuilds as in I just sim through the seasons. I play through every single game, but I'll maybe sim 1 or 2 matches. I put a lot of graft into them. So anyway, I've been Canberra Run, and thank you for watching.